Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. Happy Sunday evening. It is me again, Nima Shining Star L, and welcome to a special edition of In the Art Room with Nima. So, I did have my water. Oh, here it is, sorry. Yes, okay. I was going to say, get your water, get your juice, get your drinks, all that good stuff. Let me send some invites. I love when it says, hey Lauren, we're telling more followers to join you. Just tell my friends. They're not followers. They're my friends, okay? They are my people. My people, my people, my people, my people, my folks. I'm going to send out some invites, all that good stuff. Hello. I can't see who that is that just joined. But welcome. Hello. All that good stuff. And it is done. So peace and blessings to everyone. Happy Sunday evening. I hope and pray that your Sunday is going awesome. Like I said earlier, we have a special edition of In the Art Room tonight. So I have my water. Hey Tammy, peace and blessings. And who is that? Peace and blessings. Okay. Peace and blessings. I don't know why this little thing keeps coming up on my screen. Can anybody tell me why that is? It says that your IMS keeps stopping. So I don't know exactly what that means. Should I close my app and start over? I'm not sure, but every so often it pops up on my screen. And you guys know I'm not a techie person, so let me know. Let me know what that means, because I'm not sure. But we have a special edition of In the Art Room this evening. Tonight, we are discussing relationships. I'm excited. Remember, if you are not of the legal age of drinking, please do not drink, okay? And this show is not for everyone. This show is about relationships. This show is entitled Dating Outside of My Comfort Zone. So, with that being said, I hope everyone is ready. We're going to wait for a few more people to come into the room. Can somebody share with me why it keeps flashing over my screen? It says LG IMS keeps stopping. And then it says app information, and then it says close app. So if someone can tell me what that means, because I don't want to get into our conversation and then, and then my phone cuts off or my app closes up. So if someone can tell me what that means, that would be greatly appreciated. Should I stop this live, hit the app information, and then come back, or keep it rolling and keep it moving? I also had to turn off my air because it was it's so weird. Like when I'm not doing anything, my air, you says, I'm not sure what that means. Okay, thank you for sharing. I had to turn off my air because my fan was making noise. I was like, I can't have this fan making noise while I'm live. So now I'm like, oh, it's getting a little hot in here. So anyway, all right. But you know what? We're going to get started. So if by chance this live does cut off, I hope it doesn't, then we will come right back. But anyway, you are in the art room with Nima. I have special guests tonight. We have Lavina, Poetic, Empress. We have Tammy Thomas. We have also Kimberly Anderson, and we have Loner Stoner Panda, aka Amanda. So I don't see them in the building as of yet, but we're going to get started. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Miss Sister Queen, my close friend, Miss Tammy and Miss Lavina, to send that request to join the live, and we can get this started. So share this video, talk to your friends, tell your friends, and they tell two friends, and they tell two friends, and so on and so on and so on. There it is again. I don't know what it means, but I'm just going to keep bypassing it. I don't know what that little square box means. I don't even know if you guys can see it on your end, but every so often it pops up, like right here in the middle of my screen, this big white box, and says that. So I'm going to go ahead and bring, all right, Tammy Thomas, Lavina Poet. All right, here we go. Let's go. Come on, IG. You're sideways, Tammy. Let me see.
It does that. Oh, I don't know why it does that.
You said that's okay to be sideways. Hey, Lavina Poetic Empress.
Hello, ladies. How are you guys doing?
Hello.
All right. Well, you know what? If you don't mind being sideways, Tammy, that is all right. We can see you, and it's okay because you know how technology is. And I'm just going to keep moving
Yes,
this.
there you go. Can you
Guys.
hear me?
Oh, you're straight up and down now.
Yes, that's what I told her. She looks beautiful. I like that.
See?
And I don't know what that little thing is, but I touched it, and then all of a sudden it put me on pause. So, guys, don't worry. Okay, if it happens again, we're just going to keep coming back. So we're going to get this show started again. I am very blessed to have these women. I'm not going to keep them forever because you know I can talk forever. So we're going to start with Lavina, Poetic, Empress. Empress, introduce yourself to everyone and tell them what it is that you do. And when you're done, Sister Tammy is going to introduce herself as we wait for our other two guests, but we're going to start the show.
Good evening, ladies. I am Lavina, Poetic, Empress. I am a spoken word artist, an author, writer. Um, I also launched the campaign in 2019, Always Choose to Love Yourself More. With that, it's all about building and talking and promoting everything pertaining to life and love, and helping one another. So when I say always choose to love yourself more, I do not mean to, it's not about slighting anyone. It's about building yourself, healing yourself, and loving on yourself that your cup would run over onto others. I can be found on all social media platforms. If you Google Lavina Poetic Empress, boom, I'll come up and you can hit any one of them: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest. I also perform live. I have another show coming up. I'm hoping June the 17th. I mean, June 18th on a Saturday. So I'm gonna find out for sure on Wednesday. But so I'm all about promoting and pushing life, love, building, expansion, doing my own thing. I also, all of that also comes under the umbrella of my business, expressive artistry, excuse me, expressive artistry enterprise. And Jackie Kane is the CEO of that. So we're moving forward. It's all about connecting, building, and of course, getting paid. I'm not even going to lie or try to trick anybody. Yes, I want the money also. God said that He's given us gifts and talents to make money in the earth. Well, I want my gifts and talents. They're opening doors for me, thank God, and to go forward because that is needed also to help people because there's people out there they also need some financial assistance. And I'm not saying assistance where we give them so they don't help themselves, but there's a teaching that comes with that.
Yes.
So you can't just sit back and depend on someone else to help you because you have gifts and talents also.
Absolutely. Come on now. Come on now. Say it. All right.
Yes, I'm telling you, and that is big to me. That's really my purpose to tell people because in the church they'll tell you only this one is anointed, that one is anointed. No, we're all anointed. Anointed means you've been given the ability to accomplish things in the earth. So it's like God put me on this mandate to tell them you can do whatever it is you want to do. You've been equipped with God. You have the Spirit of God dwelling in you. There is nothing you cannot do. He said, anything pertaining to life, I got you. So whatever business, schooling, I don't know, you want to start a foundation to help women, men, whatever it is that you want to do in this earth, we're capable. And where do you think they get computers from? We can learn anything and we can accomplish anything in this earth. There is not one stupid person on the earth. As a matter of fact, everything God made is intelligent. The ants, the roaches, the spiders, the whales, everything is an intelligent being.
Okay. Now.
Because that's oh my God, I'm passionate about that. That's what I really. desire and our push and whatnot.
Come on now.
That with other people.
Keep pushing, keep pushing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing
And
that.
thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Miss Tammy, Sister Tammy, tell us who you are and what you have going on. Tell the world.
I am Tammy Thomas, aka TT, the Poetic Chief. You know, I changed my name for many reasons. But I am a poet, I am an author, and I'm also now an actress slash monologuing. And with monologues, you act out what happens in your life experience to help others to hear and inspire them to tell their stories. We tell our stories through porn, singing, praise dancing, or just spilling out talking. We do it different ways. We're like artists, so to speak. We act out our life experience. We do it to heal within ourselves, but we're also helping others that may have experienced traumatic or tragedy in their life as well. And we just did a monologue play a few months ago, and now I'm going to be doing a film also coming out soon. Thank you. And also another monologue is coming soon. So I've been very busy.
That's what's up.
I know that's right. I know that's right. And I'm glad you repeated yourself because I was just about to say that you're freezing up a little bit and pausing, but you repeated yourself so we were able to get it. I was like, okay, I was just about to jump. I'm like, okay, never mind. She's back. So you guys know how technology is. We're going to get through it. We're going to get through it. Okay, is there anything else you want to share, Sister Tammy, before we jump into these questions?
And you can find my poetry book on Amazon, and you just type in Tammy S. Thomas. And also, you can find me on Facebook, Tammy Thomas, and I have a poetry page, Tammy Thomas, Poetic, Supreme Correct. I can't even speak today. Poetic Thomas. And of course, I am on Instagram as TTThePoeticLibra.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for sharing that information, my sisters, my queens, my ladies. Let's dive right into this topic, okay? Tonight we're talking about dating outside of your comfort zone. So let me say this before anybody jumps in and says, well, who are you? I am not a licensed counselor, therapist, couples advocate. I'm a human being that has experienced love, being loved, falling in and out of love, going through relationships like we all have if you're old enough, okay? Let me give you the definition of, according to them, the definition of love is an intense feeling of deep affection. Again, an intense feeling of deep affection. Now, the word relationship, because I wanted to give up the definitions, the definition for a relationship is the way in which two or more concepts, objects, or people are connected. Okay, you guys got that? Now that we've said that, let's move right along. Dating outside of our comfort zone. So I'm going to start with you, Tammy. When I say dating outside of my comfort zone, or you talk about dating outside of your comfort zone, what does that mean to you?
To me, it's dating somebody that's not your type, but you're willing to give it a chance.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Whether it's color, color, race, man, woman, gender doesn't matter. You want to try something. If you want to try something different out of your comfort zone.
Okay. All right. All right, so I'm going to ask you, Sister Lavina, Poetic Empress, what does it mean to you to date outside your comfort zone?
It would either mean dating someone older, younger, of a different ethnicity.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, that pretty much would be outside the comfort zone for me.
Okay, all right. So
Um,
with that being said, I'm just going to leave it. We're not going to go in order. You guys we just talk amongst ourselves and answer the way we want to answer. So compared to your younger self, let's go back 20 years. Compared to your younger self, is there a difference in the way you dated then as opposed to the way you date now?
yes, indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody?
Back then, back then, uh, Vina met boy, boy like Vina. Vina was married. Now that is so not the case. It is such a different ball game. And I've been married uh, 3 times. So, and those relationships, they're long for long periods of time. I've been in relationships for
Mhm.
long periods of time. So the whole dynamic has changed. A lot of men don't want to commit. They want friends. They want to be friends. They want to, I don't know. It's just different. So for me, the whole dating scene, which which I'm not really pressed about at this point because I'm actually coming out of a relationship.
Mhm.
So I'm in a period of healing.
Okay.
So I'm like, it's kind of okay that I'm not dating. And if I wasn't coming out of, if I was already healed, I would still be okay because I don't like have to have a man. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I thank God that I have been blessed to have relationships and to, get married because it's always something to learn from it when it's done. And it's fun, it's exciting, and whatnot.
Mhm.
And the companionship, mainly that, I think that in itself is like big to have that companionship, the fellowship, the learning and teaching and feeding off of one another. You know, that's
Okay.
something I totally enjoy being in a relationship. But
Okay.
the dynamic is definitely different now versus 20 years ago.
Okay. Tammy, what about you?
I agree with Lavina. It is different. Um, 20 years ago, I really did. I don't want to say I really didn't care. I was carefree, I wasn't scared to date. When I got a chance, I dated and had fun. But now, I am a little scared. Especially we have the technology, we hide behind the computer or the phone. They got these dating apps. You don't know who you talking to. And sometimes when you meet somebody, like from a dating app, they're not who they say they are. Like
Right, right,
on the
right.
computer, it changes. It's like you didn't say who you say you were. You're not the same person that I thought you were. And I'm a little apprehensive to try to date again because I had some weird ones.
Oh, you said you had some weird ones. You said you're a little apprehensive, huh? You're a little apprehensive
Mm-hmm.
to okay. I understand to continue today. Oh, I see our other guest, Miss Kimberly. Can you send a request to come into the video? I mean, if you're able to, if you're able to. If not, I definitely understand. But Miss Kimberly Anderson, if you can send a request to come into the video, that will be excellent. Um, I hear you though, Tammy, saying that you're very apprehensive and as far as, over the phone. Oh, she said I think she said she'll be here in 5 minutes. Okay. So I definitely understand that. Sorry, I was trying to read Miss Anderson's what she said. So you do have to be very. I agree. You have to be very careful, and we all, you have to be apprehensive because people are not who they say they are. Even honestly, even sometimes when you meet people, as I say, in real time, they may be one way for a while, and then after that, you see the changes, and you're like, wait a minute, wait a minute, that's not who I started dating. Who are
Right.
you? Did you see
That's
your
when
best
right.
representative, or is this the real you?
That's when they
Mm-hmm.
start getting
And
comfortable and think it's okay now.
Okay, all right. Lavina,
you know,
go ahead.
I was going to say it's also, well, for me, when people come in my life, whether it's male or female, because some women they want to be your friends, and there's men who want to date you and pursue you or whatever. But like I said, no matter who it is that wants to come in my life, I pray and ask God to show me their heart.
Right.
Uh, you know, with that, if I'm shown that up front, then I can make a decision to say, and I also ask God, when you show me their heart, give me wisdom on how to deal with it.
Mm,
Whether it should be let in, should I, have be in business with them, or whatever the case may be, can I, trust that person for that particular thing that they're coming for?
yes,
Uh,
yes.
Mhm.
so so that helps, and you'll know how to deal with them. Okay, this is somebody I don't need to deal with all the time, or it's good for just business, or
Okay,
just friendship and things of that nature.
I understand that absolutely. Now, since we're saying that, how do you guys feel? And Tammy, I'm gonna put this question to you. How do you feel about, as people say, I never mix business with pleasure, but it don't. And I'm just putting this out there. I'm not, this is for everybody, audience, viewing audience. If you guys want to answer, type in your answers. That's great. If we get disconnected, we'll be right back. But how do you feel about mixing business with pleasure? Let's just say you have a business partner and this person, seems wonderful and everything is going great and you're both unattached and, you start, is that something that you would consider or is it strictly off the records? Like, I mean, not off the records, but out of the question. Like, no, we're business partners. I'm not doing the relationship thing. Tammy, is that something you would consider?
No,
No?
because
Okay.
if we break up, the business might the business things with business would not be good. You break
Okay.
up, you might split. The business might fail, and I mean, no, that wouldn't work. Sometimes it might work, sometimes it may not, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay. And what about you, Poetic Empress?
No,
No, you wouldn't recommend it.
because
Okay.
I would, yeah, I wouldn't do it because we started off this as business, and we want, especially if it's on a roll and it's doing good and we pushing and we growing, most definitely not. And that's in friendship also. If I as a matter of fact, I met a guy, and he wanted to date or whatever, or see if we would date.
Mm-hmm.
We went on one date, and I was like, no. But as a friend, we're friends. I was like, let's just be, straight friends. I like the friendship we have. And I've also learned, when you're friends with someone, don't cross that line,
Okay.
because it never goes back to just friendship.
Wow, it never goes back to just friendship. That's interesting. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're tuning in, we're talking about tonight dating outside of your comfort zone, whatever that looks like for you. Um, your now self or your I don't want to say older, more experienced self versus your younger self. So that's what we're talking about tonight. And we are not telling you what to do. We're having a conversation.
No,
You take the good, you take the bad, whatever it is, whatever
exactly.
works for you, let it work. Okay. If
Yeah.
this don't apply, I always say let it fly. Okay.
Listen. Exactly, because I'm like, experience life because it might go a better way for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because there are some people who try things and it's like
yeah,
the bomb, you know?
absolutely.
So
Okay, Miss
I'm like,
Kimberly has
go
just
for
sent
it.
the invite, so I'm going to see if I can bring her in. I was trying to wait for this little app. I'm glad that you guys can't see it because it's going right across my screen saying close app,
Mhm.
app information, app keeps stopping. So I'm going to see if I can bring her in. I was going to wait until that little thing moved, but I'm going to see if I can bring her in anyway. Let's
Mhm.
see. Here we go. Here we go. Come on, IG. Do me right, baby. Come on, IG.
Cooperate.
Do me right. Come
I
on. Come on.
cooperate.
Yes.
Cooperate. Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
Yes.
Hello, hello, hello.
Good
No.
How are you
morning.
doing?
Good morning.
Yeah.
Hear me okay?
Ooh, ooh, ooh. You are. It's like 2 a.m., right?
It's actually 3 a.m., but it's okay because I had to run and find my headset.
Okay, I'm going to ask you the same question so you can get in and we can get you out of here. The definition of love, as I read earlier, is an intense feeling of deep affection. And the definition for relationship is the way in which two or more concepts, objects, or people are connected. Knowing who you are now compared to your younger self, what do you think about what does dating outside of your comfort zone mean to you?
Um, Phew, it means a lot because I was the type of person that I did the obvious. Growing up in a household where there wasn't a, a dad, I grew up with a single mom, and the only real male influence was my uncle and my brother. Mainly
Okay.
my brother. So every guy that I dated looked more or less like my brother. Dark in complexion, um, big size guys. And that was the type of guy that I always dated. He's always, that's my type. But I didn't realize I was doing it because that was the type of connection that I made up with. This is the male influence that I had in my life. And this is the type of guy that I feel like, okay, this is the one that I'm going to connect to, and he's going to resemble my brother and probably his heart and his spirit, which they didn't. Um, so when I got married, because I'm married for about 8 years now, we just celebrated our 8 years, and I married out of my comfort zone, completely out of my comfort zone. Number
Okay.
one, I met my husband via social media. that back then it was mixed. It was on BBM. So we met via social media, which was something I was like big against. I was like, oh no, I would never. But we did.
Okay.
And he wasn't the type of person that I would generally go for in looks. I would normally go for your athletic type because my brother was very athletic. He played rugby and other sports. So I would always go for the athletic guy. My husband is not athletic. He's not the type of guy that will just say, okay, I want to watch a soccer game or whatever the case is. He's not that type of person. Even the way he looks, he's not very dark in complexion, not very light in complexion. He's just
Okay.
somewhere in between. So he was totally opposite of every single thing that
Wow.
I saw in men and dated my type of
Right.
man.
Right.
But crazy thing of what made me step out of that comfort zone was because I had just gotten out of a relationship. I had fallen pregnant. I had this
Mm.
baby that was 9 months old, and I was raising on my own with the help of my family. And I was like, I don't know what to do anymore, so I'm just gonna try. I was 19, but I was 20 years old. I was just about to turn 21, and this guy just pops out of nowhere. And I had an attitude because I was like, these guys are just, love is a sham. It's
Mm-hmm.
not going to work out. And I was doing everything in my power to push him away. Everything. Every time he said something, I would counteract that with something
Wow.
wittier or smarter or find a way to try and push him away. When he saw a picture of my daughter, like on my profile picture, he's like, oh, that's your baby. I'm like, yes, that's my child. But the way I said it, Let's say, okay, so now you can remove my number, delete my number, and you can continue with your life. That's exactly what I did to me. And he's like, why would I do that? I'm like, because I have a kid. You know, I have a 9-month-old baby. I don't think you're ready for all of this. You're not ready for this.
Wow.
And I mean, I really did all I could do, and not just I could do. When I finally just gave him and said, okay, let me just see what this guy's about. The challenges that he faced from his family also were like, oh, where does this chick come from? She comes with a kid. Why would you want someone like that? So those are the
Mm,
next level of challenges that we faced before marriage. You know, the moment he said, this is the type of woman that I'm going to marry, and he said to me, I'm going to marry you one day. And I'm like, right, yeah, cool. You know,
okay.
if we had maybe $1 or a cent for every man that said that to us, I think we'd all be rich.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Very few of them stay true to that word, even in challenges. So for me, it was okay. So if we could endure all these challenges together before we even got married, how much more could we endure together as a couple, as one?
Mm.
Can
Yes, jump in.
Kim Kim, can you turn your volume up just a little bit, please?
Oh, okay. Sorry, you got. Let me
Just
see if I
no,
can.
just so we can like, because I'm like, what she say?
Okay, let me try. Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Oh, that is excellent. Yes, yes. Thank you.
Yeah, so those are just some of the I'll remove these. But those are some of the challenges that I had to face
Right.
of going out of my comfort zone, because when I was in my comfort zone of dating my type of person, I say type because we like to think that we have a type, but generally, majority of females, once they step out of their comfort zone to say, hey, okay, I like fair guys, tall fair guys, let me try and see if I go on the other side, maybe I'll find, because it's not about the looks,
Right.
it's about the heart, it's about the gifts, the treasures, the love, the
Right.
patience,
Right.
the peace, all those other things that come with the relationship and come with that person. It's about being, as well as we need to also be their peace. Have
Right.
a home where sanctuary of peace. They need to be excited about coming home and not be like, oh my God, I'm going home to that woman and those kids.
I understand. I understand very well. Yes, absolutely. Let me ask you all this question. Tammy, I'm gonna come up to you and then I'm gonna go to Lavina and then to you, Kim. Um, when you're dating, or when you were dating, whatever, how long, is there a time frame that you put on yourself or you say, listen, we've been dating this long, we either will get married or stop doing what we're doing? Tammy, has that ever been a subject or a topic between you and your mate, your partner?
Yes. Come with it all the time. After, I say about after 7 months, we've been dating. He was like, well, I'm going to marry you. I mean, he's saying, I'm going to get married you. I want to marry you. You're a good woman. You got a good spirit. But it never came because he keeps
Well,
changing.
oh,
His
wow.
mind keeps
Okay.
changing.
So at some point, do
Attitude
you
keeps
say, well,
changing.
I'm not
Like,
waiting, I'm done?
yep.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
hmm
Wow.
Because
Okay.
it's not because of marriage. It's because it's his demeanor, his attitude. Everything keeps
Okay.
he keeps changing, and I don't have time for change. If you're not going to be
Mm.
changing for the good, then I can't marry you. You're not letting me see that you're the husband type. You're not
Okay.
showing me that.
Okay.
If you're not showing me
Lavina?
the husband type, the type to be a husband, then I don't want to marry you.
Wow. I'm sorry, and I had jumped right in there. I'm so sorry. I wanted to make sure you finish your thought. I jumped right in there. I was like, oh, okay. I got that over. Okay. Lavina, you're up next. What do you say to that question?
Well, I've been married 3 times, so it wasn't no, I didn't put a time frame on it because I was one, except the last marriage I did, and that was pressure from the church.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so that's why that one was the one I was like, okay, we gotta get married because we can't be doing this and we're not married. That was stressful to me, and I wish. Well, you know what? I can't say I wish. I if I would have known then what I know now, um, I would not have rushed into marriage with him. But I'm glad that like I said, I've learned to learn from my experience. Not to mention, I have a beautifully gifted son. So I'm like, all that I went through, if it's going to bring me to that place, oh, let's go. Do I want to go through that again for another child? Excuse my French. Hell no. But so it wasn't but the first 2 marriages, it wasn't a thing as to where I was like, oh, when are we going to get married? You know, because the guys, and I knew they would be good providers, because that's one thing with me growing up. I'm like, you gotta provide. You understand what I'm saying? What are we doing here? I'm not dating a guy who's not, and I'm not a gold digger, but I expect certain things, in a relationship. Because if you can't provide for yourself, how are you gonna provide for me or us if we have a child?
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
and that's still in effect. I don't want to date someone who doesn't want to, purchase things, or who doesn't have his own space, doesn't have a car, you know. Um, and that's not to say, oh, he's no good or he's not a man. Yes, he's a man. He's no good. He's just not in a position right now
Right.
to provide for me,
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But yeah, I'm glad that I didn't have to, like I said, experiencing the rushing thing. I wouldn't rush it.
Okay.
And would I have walked away from him? Well, I don't know, because he went on and he was like, all right, let's go. We got the license and we got married. So I'm glad he honored my life and my decisions and my convictions.
Right. Absolutely.
So I'm
Absolutely.
glad as a matter of fact, all of them, And when Kim was talking about a man coming home to peace, yes, I believe that we should, well, for me, my home is going to be peaceful anyway. I don't like chaos. And we've all been given a gift to speak into chaos and bring peace. But it's also vice versa. A man needs to make that home peaceful also. When I come home, there needs to be peace. Everything that they desire for the relationship to be, he needs to be bringing that to the table also.
Yes.
It should not always be one-sided, because for years we have been the ones, we have to look a certain way, we have to lose weight, we have to cook, we have all these have tos, and all they have is they just show up to enjoy.
Interesting. Okay. All right.
This is a relationship is two-way. So you need to be given just as much as I'm giving. That's what I really loved about my third husband. Oh, girl, he can cook, he cleaned, he participated. It was a give and take thing, but he did most of the cooking because the brother can cook. Like, so I let him do his thing, and he really, and the more I enjoyed what he cooked, the more he would want to cook. So that's the thing with people understand, whether male or female, when you do something for somebody and they appreciate it and they enjoy it and they look forward to it, they want to please you in that way. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So that's why I say it's two-way. It's not just one way.
Right.
You know, when you have someone making an effort also, that's another thing that you should be looking for. Don't go into a relationship where you have to do all the pleasing.
Right.
Right.
You're gonna get wore out.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you, Miss Kim. What do you? Wait a minute, Tammy. Were you raising your hand for a second? Because it looked like at one point you wanted to interject to say something. Am I
No,
wrong?
no, I was
Okay.
just
All
saying
right.
yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Sister Kimberly, what do you say to that?
I never gave myself a time frame. Um, I agree with the sense of, yes, church, religion, sometimes puts a lot of pressure on you. Sometimes it's family that puts a lot of pressure on you. I know when I had my firstborn, before I even had my firstborn, um, I was like, okay, so what are we doing here? You know, what are we doing here? I mean, I was staying with my aunt, and I was like, okay, I want to move out. And I said to the guy that I was with, I was like, okay, let's plan around, maybe I move out, you move out, and we move in together. It's not something I want, but I want it as a temporary situation because I would love us to get married, but I don't want to put a time frame on it.
Right.
And I was like, okay, we can make that next step of finding a space and moving in together and raising this baby together, because I'm not doing this on my own. You know, that was my mindset even at that age, because I was only about 18. I was about to turn 19 years old, out in Durban on my own, not on my own, but staying with some family, my dad's family. I was working. And I was like, I'm not doing this on my own. And, I had my little level of independence, but I was still like, I'm not prepared for this. And I think the pressure became a bit too much with him, and we had to sit down with our families, because they were like, okay, now Kim's pregnant. What's your next plan?
Right.
And that showed me his character, the weakness of his character, because he couldn't speak. He couldn't say anything. He just sat there quietly. And I'm like, say something, How do I see you as my strength when
Right.
I'm weak if you're not going to say something to these people? These people are not just these people. This is my uncle. This is someone that watched me grow up. This is my mom. That's
Yeah.
your dad. We had our families come together to talk about this. And what our plan going forward is. We didn't have to do it. We did it out of respect for our families, out of this respect for our elders, because that's a big thing for me, is to get their blessings, because I know where the blessings of elders is, that thing is guaranteed to thrive. And they see through things and people's characters that we might not see. We blind with love, drunk off it. We've been swimming in that fountain of love for so long. We don't see nothing wrong. We don't see his crooked teeth. We don't see his hairline. We don't see anything wrong. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They see right through so many things. I know my grandmother used to do that with my brother's girlfriends. When my brother got serious, he used to bring them past the house and say, I forgot my jersey and I need to get a jacket. Just sit in the lounge, and my grandmother would be sitting there just off 5 minutes. My grandmother, she says to my brother when they came home, he says, what do you think? She says, she's a kite. I didn't understand. I was about maybe 13, 14. I was like, what are you saying? But I remember that girl being so pushy. She was like, one day I'm going to be your sister-in-law. And she didn't end up being my sister-in-law. And I understood what my grandmother meant when she said she's a kite. She's easily blown away from this direction to that direction. And she turned out to be that kind of woman, unfortunately. And so anyway, with my situation, we did that, and dude proved his level of weakness when I needed him. And I still went and done the foolish thing of getting engaged. because I was like, okay, I got this baby and I still don't want to do this on my own. I ignored all the red flags. I ignored the fact that
Oh,
he started going from treating me like gold to now me being pregnant, and now the everything was just going down. The emotion, the energy, the love, everything that we were putting together, like we were putting everything together on the table, the same amount of energy, and now I was the only one putting that on the table.
wow.
And it was sad because at that age, I had to make the decision and say, you know, it's okay. I was engaged. We're planning on moving in together. Maybe this is too much for this person. Maybe I'm the only one that wants this and this person doesn't. So to test
Mm,
the water, I was like, you know what? I think we need some time to think about
right,
what we want.
right.
And we got very mad and we broke up. But a few weeks after that, he showed up at my workplace. Remember, I was about 6 or 7 months pregnant during that time. And I'm at work and I was carrying heavy. My feet were already swollen. It was crazy. And I worked in a retail job, so I was always on my feet. And
Mm-hmm.
as I'm stocking up cupboards, because it was a jewelry store, a high-end jewelry store. So as I'm stocking cupboards, he comes into my workplace. I greet him, and I heard you ladies talking about that as well. Like, how do you act now if you've been with someone, you know, when you've been in the same workspace or in that environment? And me being the person that I am, I will just treat you like anyone. You know, I'm not going to bring the drama. I'm going to treat you even better. Hey, how are you? I'm good. Thank you very much. And it was hard because I was carrying this baby, your
Right.
baby. And he had a whole lot of love bites on his neck after 2 weeks. And I was like, wow, thank you. You've shown me who you are.
Yeah.
Um, me your weak character. You've shown me. And he was older than me. And I was like, okay, thank you. You know, inside of me, I was like, okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Now I know why I should not have married you, and I'm going to continue doing this thing on my own. And I continued, and almost a year after I met my husband, and even with him, from within 2 months of us dating, he was like, I'm going to marry you. And I was like, why would you say something like that? He's like, because you have all the characteristics of someone I can see myself growing with. Not
Nice.
somebody I can see myself relying on, not somebody I can see myself drawing peace from and wisdom from and knowledge from. No, somebody I can see myself growing with. And after 3 months of dating, we got married. It was the craziest decision I've made of my life because I'm not the type of person that would just jump into anything. You know, you
Right.
have to really pull by my teeth to just do something spontaneous. And he knows that I'm not that person. I'll ask you a lot of questions. So let's go into the car and take a drive. Okay, where are we going? Do we have petrol? How far are we going? Do we have money for snacks along the road? You know, what's our budget like? Who are we going
Right.
to see? Do I need to pack an overnight bag? You know, do I need to pack the girls' jackets? I'm that person. But when we got married, I did not question it. I was like, yeah, let's do it. You
Oh,
know, and we did it. And from 3 months of dating, it's 8 years of, it was 3 years of fighting myself as to why I even wanted to be with that person, him fighting as to why you even wanted to be with me. Then a year of fighting myself of, do I even still love this person? Learning to fall in love with that person again, you know, and then falling out of love with them and then knocking our heads and fighting each other and then realizing that, hey, if we want to make this work, we can't be fighting each other here, you know. Are those 7 years, were they a waste? Marriage doesn't mean that your problems are going to end. You're going to face even more problems and more challenges and new ones that you've never even seen, you know. But I thank God that we've cried together. We prayed together. You know, before it was a thing of I was putting in more of the work and he wasn't, and him putting more of the work and I wasn't, and you know, that type of struggle. But we came to a point where we're like, okay, this is my best friend. So I need to talk to my best friend about everything. So that's how we
mm,
made it work, you know.
that.
You know,
Go ahead.
you said that when earlier you heard us say that we wouldn't be friends with someone that we dated, she was saying, would we date? Can you have, a relationship with your best friend? Like you became really good friends with the guy, and
Yeah.
could you be friends with him after? And the reason I said no is because of feelings that we would have for each other. You can't go back to being just friends because, it takes a while for those feelings to diminish.
Right.
So not out of like anger or,
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to you. It's
Yeah.
just that, I don't want to be around someone. You want to be around me all the time and you still wanting him, or
Yeah.
vice versa.
Exactly.
And more than likely, you know how men are, if you want them and stuff start happening, you be in the bed, but they still don't want to be committed or whatever their issues or your issues are still there.
Right.
It just makes
Yeah.
it
Right.
Yeah.
a
Now,
circle that
that's what I feel like
needs to
for
be.
me, it's crazy because I'm not the type of person that would want to work or be around those with anyone that I've been with.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
come across you, and you're not we nobody knew what was going on between us back then when we had something going on. I'm just gonna also pretend as if, and if you're gonna pretend as if you don't know me and you're gonna walk right past me, I can also
Oh,
do the
no, no,
same thing.
no, we can't. No, I wouldn't want to do that. I would, like, if I see the person, I'm
Tammy,
gonna greet them.
quiet up there.
We do that
Like,
sometimes
pretend you
though.
don't know me. Oh my goodness.
We
Like, I'm
do that.
like, because I'll be like, hey, hey. No.
I act like I don't know you. I have done that, but it's not about me right now.
No way.
I have done that in the
You
past.
act like you didn't know the guy.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. You know what, Tammy? Let me pull you in for a little while, and then I will get back to that. But let me put this question to you: what advice would you give your younger self, Tammy, about relationships? Or would you, or actually, I'm not going to say advice. What information would you share with all the people watching right now that are considering getting into a relationship, whether it's long term or short term? What information could you share with them?
Don't jump in it too fast. Take your
Mm-hmm.
time and getting to know that person. Also, if you just getting out of a relationship, take the time to get to know you better. What are your wants? What are your needs?
Right.
And don't always do everything for that person and then forget about yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You have to be about yourself. Okay. Now, every so often you're pausing, but I don't want you to do anything that's going to make it worse. So the good thing is you're repeating yourself, so I'm getting it. But when you first start talking, it's kind of like
I
going in
don't
and
know
out.
my internet.
And Tammy, can you turn up your volume also, please, baby? Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now? Is it good?
I can, but you're
Okay.
pausing. You're freezing from time to time.
Okay. I don't know what's going on with this internet tonight.
Okay,
Can you hear me now?
a little different. It sounds a little different, like you turned it up a little bit.
I did. I did.
All right. So we're gonna run right through these technical difficulties. I don't know. You know how social
Running.
media is.
You running?
Right.
So
Wait a minute. She's still there. Her screen is not black, so we good.
oh, very good. Okay, excellent. I still see you. So okay, so now
Okay.
going from there, go ahead.
Oh,
Go
I
ahead.
was agreeing. Okay. Oh, you go ahead.
Okay. So in saying that, what did you tell your daughters about, relationships? What did you tell your daughters about relationships when they got into, dating and things like that? If you want to share it, you don't have to share it if you don't want to.
I always tell them to take their time. Don't rush into
Okay.
anything. Get to know that person and be careful. Just be careful. And you don't
Okay.
have to date. A lot of when you're young, you like to date different people at once. I always tell them
Okay.
take your time to take one person at a time, not two or three. 'Cause that's when you have difficulties.
No multitasking when it comes to dating. Do one,
Yeah.
do one at a time. Okay, I got you. I got you. Okay, so I'm seeing some of the comments. Some people are saying thank you for sharing this this wonderful topic. Are you ladies okay with answering a question if it pops up on the screen? I just wanted to know before I put that out there.
That's fine.
Yeah,
Are
I'm cool
you
with them. With that.
okay?
Answer.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Cool.
Oh, sorry.
That's
I
okay.
thought you heard me say I'll answer yes.
Okay. Cool. So
Apologies about
if you have a question, respectfully, okay, please feel free to post your question now, and these beautiful women will do their very best to answer. Now, remember, I said at the beginning, I'm not a counselor therapist, any of that. You know what I mean? I have to give that waiver because they want to get technical on social media. I have worked at advocacy work for many years, working with families, but that's not the point. The point is, I'm a human being. I've been in love, had people in love with me, vice versa, and this, that, and the third. So I think I can speak on a little bit. And just to jump out there, yes, I have actually broken up with someone and walked right by them and was in the same area vicinity as them and did not speak to them. And I actually was in a relationship with someone at one point and totally acted as if I didn't know them out and about. And that was because I didn't know that they had someone and I found out. And so, I definitely wasn't going to be the one in the street causing a commotion like, oh, wait a minute, we've been together and here's somebody. And, I would rather you tell me up front, like, listen, this is what we're doing. We're cheating, we're creeping, we're doing whatever we're doing so that we're on the same playing field. I like even playing field. You know what I mean? And that way I know how to handle myself and what to do. But once I saw what I saw, I was like, oh, that's it. You're obviously with that person and you're acting as if you don't know me. So I'm going to act as if I don't know you. And then when they weren't together, he wanted to speak and I still acted as if I didn't know him. So, we eventually broke up. But yeah, listen, I've been at parties with individuals, it's really, it's a learning experience. And that was my younger self. It was a learning experience. I've been married previously. And had great experiences. And I've had some relationships where they weren't so great, and everybody, has gone through that. So let me ask you, and I'm going to make this kind of funny, and hopefully we can find some humor in it. One of you jump in, all of you can talk, it doesn't matter. Tell me about the funniest time or the funniest way you have broken up with someone that you were in a relationship with. If you don't have a funny story, don't worry about it. But I'm definitely going to tell you mine when you're done. So if you have a funny situation or scenario that you want to share with us about your dating experience, breaking up with someone, please feel free to share.
I don't know if anyone's had one of those.
Okay.
For me, it was always a thing of, okay, once I felt like it's going too deep, I'm gonna reject you before you reject me, because of the issues I had with during my teen years with my dad at that point. So I was like, I'm gonna reject you proper before you reject me, before you continue saying I love you to each other. So I'm gonna run far. And I never used to date within my hometown, and I made the mistake of doing so because my hometown is very small. Everyone knows everyone. And then I'm likely to bump into that person. I always like dating from out of town. Right. And, it was better that way because I wouldn't have to just randomly bump into you. And it is unfortunate that I dated it in my hometown. And I just stopped talking to this guy. I didn't say anything. I just stopped talking to him. That's all I did. I just stopped talking. Yep. And he told a friend of mine, he's like, hey, what's up with that chick? She's really nice. I like her. Like, I think I love that chick. And a friend of mine comes to me and tries to off, and I'm like, you're talking about who? We never dated. I don't know what you're talking about.
You completely
Okay. Yeah, so it was just always that for me, and it happened twice. And I was like, Kim, why do you do this? Like, what is wrong with you? You just randomly stop talking to people. And then you're still gonna see them in the street and it's gonna be like, hi, why aren't you picking up my calls? Like, hey, I think I lost my phone numbers. And that was impossible because I had like those really tiny phones with all the lights and stuff. And it's like, no, you just, so I don't think anyone really has a funny breakup story. I think we have
Nima
funny
does.
moments. Yeah,
Nima
Nima
does.
probably does.
Okay, so I'm going to be really quick about it. So, here's the thing. At one point, I was dating this guy many years ago. This was after I got my divorce. Because I got a divorce. I got married very young, and I got a divorce. And I was like, oh, I'm divorced. I'm going to start dating. Yeah, it's party time. Blah blah blah. And I started talking to this guy, and he was nice looking, had a nice job, and I was like, oh, no, okay, maybe. But his attitude was a little pushy. I noticed when we had conversations, it was like, well, because I feel that way, and because very like not aggressive, but very, like this is it. So I said, you know what, this is not for me because I know for a fact that I can be kind of, I'm not going to say bossy, but I have a very strong personality at times. So I said, you know what, I'm going to invite him to dinner. We're gonna, do it the right way, as you said, properly, Kim. So we had dinner, and we get late. I had my music on. This is back, when R&B was like, R&B, and got the lights and everything. But I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll get one for the room. And yeah. And so yeah. And so we went in the room, and I was like, you know what? This is not even going to work for me. Because once I'm no longer attracted to you, I don't care what you call yourself packing. It doesn't work for me. So it was 3 a.m. in the morning, and I told him to get out.
Oh, you know
And
what?
he had a car. If he didn't have a car, I wouldn't have told him to leave. And this was years ago, So, but I said, you know what? This is not working for me. And he's like, is she kidding? Looking around at the situation. I was like, yeah. I just opened. I straight up opened my bedroom door, walked him to the door, and I was just like, "You take
Hasta
care,
la vista,
have
baby.
a good life." And he was just like, "Are you?" As he said, "Are you serious?" I was closing my door.
Oh,
So and I'm not. And listen, ladies and gentlemen, that is not a bragging. It's
like you
funny
said,
because
only Nima.
yeah, it's funny because no one got hurt. It's funny because no one got hurt, because we never saw each other again. We never looked at, look, that was it. So that's why it was funny, because he had the look on his face, because he was kind of cocky and arrogant. And I'm like, oh, cocky, arrogant. I'm very humble and sweet, and I'll in a relationship, I'm all in. Whatever I need to do, I'm doing it. I'm like, you're not my, no, nah, no, thank you. So that was that. That's why it
And
was
I think
funny.
it's a knock to guys' egos. Yeah, I think it's a knock to a guy's ego, especially when they used to women running after them. Some guys, not all guys, please don't shoot me for saying that, but some guys are used to that. The same like with some women, they used to men just dropping at their feet, and
Yeah.
some women have that thing about them, that persona where they can walk into a room and they just have everyone's attention. The same with some men, but when you meet that one person that's just not on that level where their spirit just doesn't sense something right with yours, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, I don't think this thing is going to go further than where it is. I love that you did that though, but yeah, I don't know. I think me, I would have probably tolerated it. I think I've tolerated too much. Because I
Okay.
would have probably just irritated, being like, okay, wait till the sun comes up, Kim. Wait till the sun comes up.
No, breakfast and everything else. And plus, I had children, and they were coming home for the week. They were going for the weekend, and we had my children don't need to see anybody coming through this door unless you in for the long. You know what I mean? So, all right, let me move right along, because I promised that I wouldn't keep you ladies long. Okay, so dating outside the comfort zone. If a man with or woman with no let's say no dreams and aspirations. I know this. I know I'm pushing it. But no dreams, no aspirations. Like they're content. Like you look at them and you're like, what are your dreams? What are your hopes? And they're like, oh, I'm content where I am. And you're like, can you be with someone that's just
no.
We can do you now together. We can all answer that together. Like no.
He's not even waiting.
Once I see you,
how do you want to?
right. Once I see you not doing nothing, no motivation.
See, y'all didn't let me finish.
Don't call
No, there's no finishing that, boo boo. No.
You know where that's heading now.
You know what? Because we would. I'm telling you, I would hurt someone like that. I would hurt their feelings. Because I'm like I said, you see me shaking and wrong with that. So, and there's nothing wrong with him. That's who he is. I can't even say he's like that because I don't know and I don't want to know. And when I say I don't want to know, I'm just so thankful that I have, dreams and aspirations and I have desires and passion and you understand what I'm saying? So all I know is somebody like that only could be strictly my friend, but even I can only interact with them to a certain extent.
Okay. But listen, here. Well, I was, let me say, no, Kimberly, no. Like, I was saying, like, with the, say you have a man or woman there, they have their job, they're secure with their job, and they, their thing is go to work, come home, you guys take care of each other, go to work, come home, y'all, you might go on trips or whatever, but, when you sit down and ask them, well, because I always ask them, what do you want to be when you, I've got to. Well, I'm already grown. And I'm like, really? So you're good where you are? You don't want to, there's nothing else that you want to do, no other dream. That's what I mean. Like, not saying that they're bums or they're not working, whatever. I'm just saying, big dreams.
Okay, how much money does he make? Like because if he makes a nice amount of money, you understand what I'm saying? Let's go. But if he, work at Walmart or you understand what I'm saying? He doesn't make a lot of money. No.
For me, it doesn't even matter how much money he makes. If he has my mind, I feel like the most beautiful part of us is our brains. That's something I always teach my girls is I'm like, you have such a beautiful brain. Yes, I know you have a beautiful face and you have a beautiful body and, you slim and you trim, but your mind is the most beautiful part of you. And whether it's over the past 2 years, friendships, every work relationship that I have, if we are not gelling and imparting into each other on that mental also level, not just spiritual and emotional level, we can't be friends.
But wait a minute. Now, Nima, is he can he hold a conversation and can he teach me something? Yes. Like, okay, that's what I'm saying. If he makes enough money, because see, check this out. Sometimes you might have to, now if the guy makes enough money and he sows into you and you sowing into, you're flowing in that manner, because especially with like who I am and where I'm going, I could rock with somebody like that. But he couldn't be somebody that he doesn't know anything, he doesn't read. I'm like, you don't read, you don't own a book? Like, no, I couldn't do that. And he has to have some kind of spiritual maturity and want to continue to grow. Like if he had to be something like that, yes, but somebody who doesn't want anything, or like she said, you don't think, you just existing. Right. And there's no passion. I'm telling you, the passion thing, you gotta have some kind of passion for something. So if he's passionless, spiritless, moneyless, he just less. He just
vision. Are you not going to see only the current, and you're not going to see past next week? Now, because all of us in here or women that love to tap into our brains and have no limitation, right? And the people I assume that we have around us have not set that limitation when it comes to knowledge and such things. Now, I would assume if you're talking about a guy like that, it's a guy that's, as you said, that's just content with where they are. They're happy. And we know so many of those people. I know some of those people personally that are way older than me that are just happy with where they are. Okay, this is my job. I have a nice house. And those type of people, though, when you speak to them, it's like you're speaking to a brick wall. Because even if you're trying to teach them something new, like a small thing, someone that's like that, I'm not going to say their name, but we're talking about poetry, and that person says, "Oh, that's not my thing," and I was like, "Okay, that's cool. Have you experienced being in a space where there's poets or creatives?" "No, I haven't." I was like, "You should experience it, and then you can tell me if it's not your thing or not." Like, "Nah, I don't think I'd ever find myself in that space." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So that's the challenge of being around someone that set that limitation of like, oh, this is where my brain is. This is the knowledge I've acquired. He's not dumb. He's very knowledgeable, but he lacks the wisdom because his knowledge he's only set so far.
And wait a minute. And the funny thing is, he couldn't even see he was already in that space with you.
Thank you.
Dude, you already in the space. So you like me, but you don't like poetry.
I was about to.
I am poetry in motion. Come on now.
I was gonna whip some of my best pieces of. Let's talk about.
Exactly. That's what you should have done. Da 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 da. Nigga, please.
I was gonna, but then I was like, when you pray and you ask God for wisdom, you know which people to speak to and which people not to speak to. The same thing as you'll know which type of man to go into a relationship with and not. If you can see he's just limited to here, thank you. There's nowhere we can go. We're gonna always clash because when I'm growing mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and I'm growing out of who I was and my shell is changing and I'm growing more as a person and you're not growing, there's nothing we can do. What can we talk about? Autumn, winter, spring, and then we after done talking about the weather, what else are we gonna left to be talking about? Sex? Okay, cool, something that lasts for less than 5 minutes. What else can we talk about?
Exactly. Because and then after you get a certain age, you're looking at him going, no, it's gotta be more than just that.
Yeah. You wanna own a business, not just work for someone out. You want to own a business, fine. Let's own that business together. Let's work together. Let's own that business up. Let's put capital. You just want to, if that's what you want to do, then all good and well. That's your life. No one can tell you otherwise.
If that person doesn't want to grow with you, doesn't want to go beyond their limitations, then they're not for you. If they don't want to be where you at in a different level, if they don't want to change their atmosphere or anywhere that you're going, then you need to go by yourself.
Well, and the deal is, that's what it comes down to. You in life, you'll come to a place where you really recognize the mission has been given to you. And if you don't, you gotta go by yourself. God has already set people in place who are going to come up alongside you. And you can't limit yourself to, I need a husband to do this. No, you don't. The deal is God has already put people in your place that are in agreement with you.
Right.
Because when one agree, we take 1,000 to flight. But when two agree, honey, it's limitless. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He's going to always provide what's needed for you to accomplish what you need to accomplish in this earth.
Yes. And on that note, I'm going to ask you all this question. I'm going to start with you, Lavina. Give me one word. I know this is going to be hard. Give me one word that describes the type of mate that you want in your life. Now, if you have that, great. But just let's pretend we don't. Let's pretend that you're fresh, you're freshly whatever, and you're not attached. And let's give us one word that describes the type of mate that you are looking for or that you expect.
Oh God, it's gotta be one word.
Okay, try 3 words.
Okay. Wise, rich, and passionate.
Okay, wise, rich, and passionate. Okay, Tammy, 3 words.
Intelligent, motivator, and a provider.
What's the second one and the third one?
My internet must have went out. I said intelligent, um, provider, and a motivator.
Okay, Kim.
I only have one, which is like God fearing. That's it. If you have the fear of God in you, then we can roll.
Hmm, all
You
right
know, if you have the fear of God in you, we can be in alignment. You know, we can pick each other up. If you're not on my level mentally, or if I'm not on yours, we can pull each other up to the,
wow.
to have the patience enough to do so and grow. But yeah, the fear of God unlocks, so many different things, even love, not just love for me, but love for your community, love for your family. All of that love will tell me what type of person you are, what type of person I'll you be towards me in the future when I'm old and something should happen. Will you be able to look after me? How did you treat your parents? That's love, So those are the two things I'd say.
God fearing and love. Woo! All right. Let me just say this. I truly, truly appreciate you sisters coming on here with me, coming into the arbor with Nima, talking to me, talking to the friends and everybody that's watching and will watch, giving your experience, sharing your experiences, um, giving us intimate information, and just enlightening us. All around. I appreciate you guys taking the time because time is something you can't get back. And
Mm.
I see you. I see all of you, and I appreciate all of you. And Kim, I actually came on at 5 o'clock because I had sent you an inbox saying I don't want you to be up till 3 in the morning, and I came on at 5 o'clock because it was going to be you and I together. I said she must be busy. Life showed up,
And
so I get it.
I was sleeping. I was like, okay, I'm gonna sleep. I'm timing myself. I'm like, okay, if you sleep early, you get
Oh,
about 5, 6 hours of sleep. When my alarm, I set 2 alarms. So I was like, okay, when my first alarm went off, my husband's like, hey, don't you have to get up? I'm like, just now, I have a second one.
I do that too. I do that too. So
And then the second one went off, and he's like, get up. Get
yeah, I
up.
truly appreciate you sisters. And honestly, one day my vision, my hope, my prayer is to have this conversation on a larger scale one day, in person, all of us, maybe on some kind of uh dating outside of the comfort zone tour, world tour, whatever. I don't know. My brain. I'm always like every 5 minutes a different idea. But that being said, I hope and pray that you all have a safe night, a safe morning, a blessed start of your week. Is there anything, starting with you, Lavina, that you want to send us home with? Your final thoughts as far as dating outside your comfort zone.
I would say don't limit yourself. Get
Mhm.
rid of um, your thoughts of what you've been taught growing up, whether it's from your family, the church, social media, television, movies and things of that nature.
Mhm.
Definitely experience you first before you bring someone significant in your life and experience life also, because that
Mm-hmm.
also helps you mature and grow into who God called you to be and living your purpose, and I believe that through you living your purpose, God will send the person actually that you need in your life, that's supposed to be in your life, versus
Mhm.
all these things that we want.
Like that.
So
Wow, absolutely. Kimberly, what are your final thoughts? Thank you, Lavina.
Self evaluation is key. You know, the more you get to know about yourself, the more confident you'll be in choosing your partner because you'll know exactly what you're looking for. You know, we don't necessarily end up with what we're looking for realistically, but when you know your character and you understand who you are, what makes you angry, what makes you happy, what makes you sad, your love, your peace, your joy, because so many of us are looking to try and say, okay, I feel lonely. And we're going to fill our spaces and our hearts and our rooms and our homes with someone that's going to make us happy. When in actual fact, it's not that someone that makes you happy because people disappoint you whether they like it or not at some point. But find out what makes you happy before you even get into that relationship. Find out what makes you happy, what makes you sad, what puts you in that depressive state, what pulls you out of that depressive state, what causes anxiety, and all these different things. So when you do get together with that person, you also understand yourself enough to know, hey, why am I crying? Oh, okay, because they said something that triggered something within inside of me.
Right,
You
right.
know, you also understand that, okay, I can communicate with this person and talk, and let's talk about it. Okay, you said something that just didn't resonate well with how I'm feeling. Communication and speaking to each other, not shouting, but talking to each other when you're calm. You can't talk in anger. Don't talk when you're over emotional. Calm yourself down, take a walk, relax your mind, and then speak. Because if you're gonna speak during those heated moments, you're not gonna get anywhere. You're gonna say a whole lot of things that you never even wanted to say initially, and it's just gonna cause more problems upon problems. So for me, self-evaluation is key. Take time to be with yourself. Have those silent moments where you just meditate and listen to calming music, soothing music. I mean, we poets, we write, you know. That's our selfish moments. We write. That's how we're expressing ourselves. But for those that don't, they need to find that space of how they can express themselves also and say those things that maybe they feel they can't say to their partners during that time.
Excellent. Miss Tammy, what final thoughts do you have, my sister?
Just put God first, love yourself more. Um, you have to, when you know what you like and don't like, let them know how to treat you as well. Be honest, be yourself. Don't fake it through until when you get together, then something happens. When you're not this person, when you was beginning, just be yourself.
Okay, I was going to say repeat that last part because you froze up again. I was going to say repeat that last part. You know, be yourself. Tell them what you like.
Yourself, yes. Be yourself. Treat yourself right, so they'll know how to treat you. And I also said, love God. Make sure you put Him first,
Yes.
not man. Put Him first. You got to do that. And be honest. Be yourself.
Be honest, be yourself, put God first, not man. Absolutely, Tammy. And you know, tell them what you need and what you want, what you expect. You know what? All of these responses, all of these answers have been on point, right, and exact. And I hope and pray that everyone watching or that will watch will take something from this because, as I said earlier, if it does not apply, I would say if it don't apply, let it fly.
I like
Yeah,
Yes.
you know, but we can learn from each other. Don't be afraid. Even if you don't agree with everything that was said tonight, you know, then it wasn't meant for you. You know,
Yes.
it's going to touch the hearts and the spirits of those that it was meant to touch. So if it wasn't meant to touch you or educate you or inform you, then this message was not for you. If it did something, even just a little bit, then it was meant for you. And I appreciate all of those people I see coming in now. We're about to end this live. I am your host, Nima Shining Star L, and these are my beautiful co-hosts. This is up top. You have Miss Tammy Thomas. You have in the corner on my left, I don't know if it's on there, but on my left, I have Lavina, Poetic Empress. And on my right, on the bottom, I have Miss Kimberly Anderson. And these women have been my co-hosts for tonight in the Art Room with Nima as we discuss the topic, dating outside of your comfort zone, what that looks like now compared to back then, or back when, as we like to say. So that is it for tonight. If you didn't catch it, I will be sharing it instantly, and I will be sharing it on Facebook. And thank you guys. You said following the entire panel. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank
Because
you.
these women have a lot going on. They are poets. They are published authors. They are hosts of their own shows. They are advocates. They are creators. They are spoken word artists. They are women. They are in, they have a lot going on, but they have a lot going on. So I love you guys. Thank you so much, my queens, my sisters, all of you watching. Thank you for tuning in. This is In the Art Room with Nima, as I often say. In the meantime, in between time, do you and take care of you. Mwah. Good night, guys. Thank you
Good
so much.
night. Thank you.
Thank you.